And we are back with the coming 3 years, what awaits us spiritually. Let's welcome Dr. Paul Haider, who has been an author and speaker in the areas of spirituality and herbalism for over 30 years. Really grateful to have him on our show. Welcome, Dr. Haider. We are so grateful to have you.
I'm glad to be here. It's great to be with you, Monica.
Thank you so much. I would really appreciate if you let us know about yourself, about your experiences, and what set you out on this journey briefly.
I've been dealing with spirituality for most of my life. I can remember looking up the trees, being 10 years old, and shutting my eyes and going into a trance state and finding a different place within and being close to God there. Even have a picture of that. So I've always been an aspirant to an aspiring person who wanted to be close to God, to the universe and one and only. And it just progresses that. My dad was very spiritual, my mom. So I think it just came natural for me.
So you had a spiritual background, an upbringing, to say.
I think so. And I think that I have a lot of great uncles and people who were also into spirituality. So it's just a natural thing for me. I think it could have gone either way, but I decided to go for it and go forward with it. And it's all a personal calling. If you don't have the calling, it's not going to happen, you know. So it's about listening to the divine and starting to understand things that a lot of people just don't notice. And seeing all the little tiny things. After a while, I started seeing divine particles that were around me and starting showing up on my hands. And I would see little gold particles, little red particles. And that night, I would lay in bed and I would see all this. The dark sky wouldn't be dark. It would be in our bedroom. There would be nothing but lights. You know what I mean? Wow, look at that. And I could see that this was this infinite field that many people have talked about, and there is nothing but God, and there is nothing but infinite life, which exudes from this force that brings life into everything.
And you live in that light. I can totally see each moment, and I'm really, really honored to have you, and I'm sure our audience, along with me, have a lot to learn from you. So welcome.
I just try to expand upon what I know so that maybe I can inspire somebody. Basically, they inspire themselves, but maybe I trip one word that makes something important to them, and maybe they go off on their own to find what's really important inside.
That's great. I just love your attitude, and I'm really grateful. So, Dr. Paul, tell us about the coming 3 years. What awaits us spiritually? And what do the gurus and saints say about our near future?
I've been following many gurus and saints around the world for over 12 years now, almost 13, and they have never been wrong. And let me skip forward. I'm going to go from 2015 to 2025, and we're going to see, a huge change. Lots of people are going to become spiritual, and they're going to have a spiritual practice, and they're going to be starting to realize the God within themselves and in everybody else. And it will change life on this planet completely. And there will not be any problems as far as problems. We only will see things as challenges that we can overcome and work together to find that agreement, which we don't have right now.
What agreement?
Agreement to find cooperation, caring, and consideration in everything. And that will be where we're going. We will find at that point, science will start to working to create longevity for everybody. We'll start to live 200 years.
Oh.
We will live to be 200 years or more. we're going from this age of Iron Age, or the Kali Yuga, into moving towards the Golden Age. And in the Golden Age, they have said in the Ayurvedic traditions of astrology that people live to be 1,000 years old. So we are moving towards that point, and we will start to see great advancements in medicine. We will be able at that point to be able to have great advancements in everything as far as the science goes, and we will end hunger. We will end all poverty. We will end all lack of housing. We will end all lack of water on this planet. We will end all lack of food, and there will be a disbursement of all riches to all people. Yeah, I see it as kind of the Star Trek existence. We do what we need to do in order to help the one and the many. And everything's will change to be the closest we can get to perfection here on this earth. To get to that point, there will be some very interesting times.
And we will discuss what will happen in the next 3 years after a short break.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes.
Matt Connerton here. Join Jen Coffey and I twice a week for Matt Connerton Unleashed, a political talk show that's a little different than what you're used to. No liberal or conservative agenda here, just an honest dialogue about truth and how things really work in the world of politics. Matt Connerton Unleashed, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake. Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Looking for inspiration?
Want to be inspired?
Not sure where to go?
Find Mark and Kim every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Inspired Living.
Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience and all things spiritual.
Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
We are back with Dr. Paul.
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome back, everyone. So, Dr. Paul, these next 3 years will be what is like a base of the change that's going to happen.
Yes.
So what will really happen in the next 3 years?
We will see some great changes, and I want to say, first of all, these are not my predictions. These are different gurus and saints around the world that say that we have the power to change all of this if we will start loving God and honoring God and everyone we see. At this point, we have about anywhere from 30 to 40 wars going on at any particular time. And every day, 40,000 children die of starvation. And I don't see this as it being a thing where we are honoring God. But so many people have decided that money is more important than honoring people, that we are moving into a realm which a lot of people are not going to like. And I think it's important that we know we have this power, that we can change all of this. As we allow ourselves to embrace the love that we have inside and start loving our neighbor and start loving everybody around us and let go of all the negativity and let go of all the anger, let go of the rage, and allow ourselves to see the divinity that we have. And we are divine beings. There's no doubt about that. It says that in every spiritual text that I know. And so it's, what they're saying is that during this time right now, we're seeing a lot of floods, we're seeing a lot of dry spells, we're also seeing a lot of volcanoes and earthquakes. And during 2016, there will be a massive earthquake in the Tigris Valley that will cause major upheaval. In 2017, it will be the Middle East will go into a huge amount of havoc, and there'll be massive bombing there and causing a huge amount of loss of life. And then in 2018, we will see 3 major players within the world go to war. And I think that's probably the most important thing. If we go to the Third World War, this will be a nuclear war. Mm-hmm. And what they're saying also is that there will be massive loss of life. 1/3 of the planet's people will die instantly. And then 1/3 will suffer. And we will have about 5 years of real hard times during that process. And we'll be starting to slowly move. People will start to move away from materialism towards spirituality. We can start doing that right now, or we can. People can start doing it the hard way.
So it's like we will go through this period of turbulence and challenges so we can come back to our source.
We can come back to our soul, because right now there's so much ego in the way that people are not going there. A lot of people. We do have a lot of awakened people. There's no doubt about that now. We have more philanthropic people doing great work on the planet than ever before, but their numbers are still, we haven't reached 10% of the people on the earth. They're a small percentage doing great things. And we need to move to greatness. We've seen the signs along the way. We've seen, the water's turning red in many parts of the world. And I have a whole list of about 15 different ones showing bodies of water turning red. We have bodies of water turning green, which is the next stage. And then we had bodies of, lately we just start to see bodies of water turning brown, which is the last stage before we get into what would possibly happen if we allow this to keep moving forward. And we have that great possibility inside of it, because we're all spiritual beings, to pray. And I want to see Divine Mother Amma. She was what they call the hugging saint, and she said the winds of war are coming, and Divine Mother Amma never talks about that kind of thing. And she said there's nothing that we can do except pray. And she's one of these people who is so spiritual. I mean, I was sitting in the audience, and I didn't know she was coming, and all of a sudden, everybody in the room started to cry. Mm-hmm. I was pouring tears, and this man beside me, he started to cry, and he said, "I got something in my eye." But she has this great ability to expand upon love. And when she talks about this, it is coming from a great place of all-knowing. We have to awaken as many people as possible. I think people know that we're headed in this direction if we keep going down the path that we are. Even Pope Francis said the other day, we're seeing the piecemeal World War III right now. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the third piece of the Fatima, the things that were supposed to come out, the miracles of Fatima, they were supposed to come out that were kind of hidden from us. That there will be World War I, World War II, and then this possibility. But we need to change the way we are deep down inside. We are still more materialistic than we ever have been. And we have people who have $150 trillion, $1,000 trillion. That's kind of obscene, you know? Mm-hmm. And we need to move to allowing that wealth to be spread upon the earth. And we don't have to see 40,000 children die every day of starvation. It is possible. We have the wealth to do it.
But then the other thought is that it's our own consciousness that attracts, the life that we are living. So what about that? What about? Okay, I totally understand the wealth and all the goodies should be spread evenly, and we should be sharing. But what does that mean then?
That means that we'd have to have a whole shift in consciousness for mankind, that all those people who have this consciousness that there is no such thing as spirituality will have to awaken and understand that love is more important than money. Mm-hmm. And we'd have to see that caring for people is more important than money. We'd have to see that feeding people was more important than money, and housing people was more important than money. We've always had the ability to heal this planet. It's been said over and over 1 million times. We have the riches in the world to do that. But are people ready to awaken? That is the big question. I personally believe that we have that possibility deep down inside. I believe that we can change everything in a blink of an eye. I see great things happening. I just had a couple young kids come to me the other day, and they're interested in spirituality, and that's very unusual. You see older people doing, and these kids are in their 20s, and that's something just kind of awakened me. It was like, wow, I see younger kids really getting into this. Yeah,
that's beautiful. Now I see it all the time now. Parents sharing the stories of these kids, sharing their experiences and talking about higher realms and God and being so selfless and sharing.
Yeah, it is heartening for me to see that, because that's our future. I'm 62. I don't know how long I'll live, when God decides to take me. But they are the future of what's going to come to this planet. Mm-hmm. We will carry on either way. This will not be the end of mankind. Mankind will go on no matter what. But it will be an awakening that will change everything that we see and do. And I think most people want to embrace that, but they don't know how. But it begins when we start to do it within our own family, and we start to do that within our own little neighborhood, and then our community, and then within our state and within our country. It expands from what we were thinking. First, we have to create, a purity of mind, and we get rid of those thoughts of anger, get rid of those thoughts of all this negativity that we have, and that will bring about great change. We also have to let go of attachments. We see things as mine, and that's yours. And once we take a look from the place of God, universe, and one and only, you back off from the earth, it's only one thing, and we see everything as one, as we. It's all ours. And so there's no attachment. That's only desires. And when we let go of those desires, we see freedom. And that's what you see in all the sages, the gurus, the saints. They have no attachments whatsoever. So it's really vitally important that we let go of those. Also, as we move forward, we have to allow ourselves to take on the wisdom of God and allow people to see our own faults, first of all, and be able to correct them. And then be able to allow people who even point out our faults and not be angry with them, but be thankful to them and say, wow, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of people who can do that with great humility, you know.
But how do we open up people to, to that way of thinking or to this truth?
I think it's a personal process, and we just have to keep putting out our experience out there into life. You know, for me, it was I had an experience of doing meditation on the beach, and I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I became every molecule in the clouds, every molecule of air, every molecule of the ocean, water. I was every part of the sea urchin and the starfish. I was everything. And it was so amazing. And then when we allow ourselves to do meditation, and the more we do meditation every day, the more we see the oneness of everything. It showed that meditation, when we get a few people together and meditate, it can actually lower the crime rate in a city like Washington, D.C., and this has been done hundreds of times. But people don't want to take it in for some reason. They just say, no, that's not real.
That's true. We will be back after a short break and really apologize for the technical difficulties today. And we really hope to continue on this.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
The truth is, you can't change the world if you're broke. I know. I've tried. Isn't it time you turned your life's calling into a profitable, freedom-based business? I'm Michelle Barr. Join me every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Sacred Success.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Hi. This is Angela Levesque, host of Entanglement Radio. Join me Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations with visionaries in spiritual science and conscious healing. Entanglement Radio, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Transcendent talk for the conscious mind.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, Dr. Paul. So how can we live in this world and not be motivated by fear?
I think it's important that we don't dwell upon these things, but to allow ourselves to take one day at a time and do the best we can every day. Because if we dwell upon this stuff, it'll drive us crazy. There's no doubt about it. I don't even watch the news. I don't go there at all. I know people who haven't watched the news in 40 years, and they're very well informed in general because they work in their own community. And if there's something important, they'll let you know. There's no doubt about it. But if we allow ourselves to go into a place of fear, we've defeated ourselves altogether. No, I want this lady in Australia that I know, and she's totally fear-based. Everything that comes up, she's totally jumping on the bandwagon. This is happening, that's happening, and it's like, and her health is going downhill, and she's not feeling good. But if we allow ourselves to put blinders on and only look towards the divine, then we start seeing, there's great things actually happening also. And if we focus on the light, that's the important thing. Even we have to know that these other things are going on, but we allow ourselves to focus on what's good. I've seen so many people focus on the negative, and that's caused great problems in their life. So allow yourself to focus on the light, focus on the good. Try to do good things. Just like going down and giving a sandwich to a homeless man. That's bringing light into somebody's life. And without expectation. I mean, what happens to that sandwich, or if he eats it, or if he, sells it to, get another hit or whatever, that doesn't matter. We do it selflessly in order to make a change in the world.
That's true, yeah. I think without attaching ourselves to the outcome. I mean, in any way we are helping that person.
Yeah, everybody usually says, why don't they become a regular person, become somebody successful in society and all that kind of stuff, But all we have to do is really help and be a good, bright light in a dark world, and everything will change. We had a huge room, maybe an auditorium, and you have one candle in it. You see a certain amount of distance. But if you have 1,000 people walk in there with a candle, you see everything. And that's what we have to be. We all have to be the candle of our heart, which is going to illuminate the distance. And right now we have a lot of people praying. And when people pray, we also are bringing or invoking a huge change, which will come as a great saint or guru who will be one who will embrace a lot of people, and they will start to follow him. I expect that to happen pretty soon.
Yeah.
We'll have this great person come, this great being, this spiritual light, which people will follow, and this will change a lot of hearts. Jesus, when he was around, he would just stand there, and 90,000 people their hearts would shift.
Right.
And being is just in the presence of, like Kurundi Amai. She puts her hand on your heart opens. It's powerful. So we need to keep praying, and these people will come that will make a huge difference in the world, and that light will change the world in general. Even like Buddha, Buddha would walk around and people would just follow him because they wanted to be in his presence. And many others who came and they just followed these people because they had divine hearts and divine light within them. And people know it. They don't even have to hear their words. It's their presence.
It's their presence.
It's their presence. It changes everything. And I think we have a lot of people praying now, and I ask people to pray even harder and even more for a divine being to come and for great peace in the world, but most of all, for great love in the world. If we ask for great love, everything else would change. And we ask for a great change of our own heart so that we can expand that love throughout our own small universe that we have in front of us. If we do that every day, everything will change.
So you mean even the chaos that's going to come in these 3 years, the upheaval, that is also going to reduce if we put in more loving energy, and because I guess it's our fear that will be. It's our fear and it's the negativity that will make it happen, or is it necessary for the positive change that's about to come, this destruction that you were talking about?
I think it will happen according to the divine plan. We are the collective consciousness. And according to how many people make that shift into love, it will happen.
Yeah.
And so we, in general, will create that.
Yeah.
We have that power. We have that shift. We have that ability to change everything.
So we can change it.
And we can change it. We can change it, absolutely. That's why, Divine Mother Amma was talking about us praying. And those who are devout and those who, do daily devotion to God, the universe, one and only, those are the ones that are, we're preaching to the choir type of thing. But it's the others that haven't seen the light yet, which we need to awaken. But the more we pray, the more we do devotion, the more we become the light, the more our presence becomes like those other divine beings, the more we impress upon other people how love can change the world. So it's your heart, it's my heart that will change other people. If I become true and loving and kind, other people will see that and it will make a difference. And the same thing goes for you and everybody else around you. So exponentially, it's kind of like if you know 4 people in the world, you know everybody kind of thing. Will work that way. We have to change from the inside out.
From the inside out, yeah.
And now in this world of Twitter and we have social media all over, things happen just like that. It'll change overnight, and we can do that if we decide to put the energy into it. But I don't think of it as something conscious that we have to do all the time. It's just about being a good person, about being a loving person. And allow all the rest to go the way it's supposed to be. Allow divine will to unfold, no matter what. And we're supposed to have faith in whatever that's supposed to be. And that's difficult for some people. Allow me to understand that this is the way it's supposed to be. Whatever way it's supposed to unfold, and I'm supposed to follow. And allow thy will be done. It's not my will be done, thy will. And it will happen accordingly, whatever it's supposed to be. I see that we can change all of this. As I said before, we can make a difference in the world. We can start philanthropic organizations. We can, cure those who are sick. We can feed the poor. We can house the poor. We have a new organization that wants to bring electricity to Africa. We can heal all the diseases. We can make everything change. The only thing what we have in our way is a lot of people not looking to do that because they can't see the light yet. But it will happen. Believe me, it will happen. Absolutely.
So I know you talk about the spiritual practices and the chants and mantras that we should be practicing. Could you talk about that?
I think one of the best mantras that anybody can do, which is powerful, whatever their spiritual concept is and whatever their, spiritual inclination would be, is the name of God, whether they call it, a personal name is even better if they call it Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Krishna, whatever it is. And saying that over and over and over and over again, thousands of times a day, silently in their mind. And allowing fear to kind of melt away and allowing ourselves to focus on that which is loving and kind. And I've seen amazing things happen in people's bodies just by doing that. I've seen amazing things happen in their life by doing that. And I've seen consciousness shift within people by doing that. It is powerful.
It is almost like you are directly connecting yourself to that positive light or, to God in whatever form you believe in God.
Oh, yeah. It says even in the Bible, it says, let me tell you this, ye are the children of the Most High. Ye are the children of God. We are gods. There's no doubt about that. With a small g, we just don't understand the fact that we are God. We can have great power. Even Jesus said, you can do all of this and more. And other great spiritual leader said the same thing. And we have that power. Well, do we know it? Are we willing to embrace that power? Are we afraid of our power? Are we willing to stand up and I think a lot of people are not even willing to stand up and say, I'm I'm a devotee of somebody or something. I think in this world, a lot of people find science as their way of being now, and a lot of people don't believe in anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I see that science is becoming less and less and less important.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the other day, some of the editors of some of the greatest scientific journals said that half of all research is not good. It's false. Find something more. Just got.
And we have to end our show here, but we will be back with Dr. Paul Haider, and we have to talk about a lot of other things that he has to share about spirituality and how to live spiritually. Thank you so much, Dr. Paul. So grateful to you. Thank you so much, friends, for tuning in. And we will be coming back to Dr. Paul very soon. Have a wonderful life. Namaste.